Ionic bonding. To understand this, you need to first understand what ions are and how they're formed.
Ions are atoms or groups of atoms that have lost or gained electrons and have a charge. Metals lose electrons to form positive ions, which we call cations, and non-metals gain electrons to form negative ions or anions. Ions are formed when electrons are transferred between atoms to achieve a full outer shell, and this full outer shell makes them more stable. So for example, in sodium, there's one electron in its outer shell. So the easiest way it can achieve a full outer shell is by losing that one outer electron. Once it removes it, it becomes an ion. So to show this, you draw its structure within square brackets and show its charge on the top right. It becomes a positive ion because it's lost a negative electron. Now if we look at a non-metal like oxygen for example, you can see that it has 6 electrons in its outer shell. So this time it would need to gain 2 electrons to get a full outer shell of 8. This time the extra electrons have made the atom turn into a negative ion and has a charge of -2 as 2 negative electrons were added to it. You can usually predict what type of ion an atom will form by knowing the group of the element that it's in. Group 1 elements form +1 ions, Group 2 elements form +2, Group 6 form -2, and Group 7 form -1 ions. All the other groups have more complicated rules that you don't need to memorize.
So now you know what ions are, let's go through what ionic bonding is.
Ionic bonding is a type of bonding that occurs between a metal ion and a non-metal ion. It involves the transfer of electrons from a metal atom to a non-metal atom. The metal atom loses electrons to become a positively charged ion, while the non-metal atom gains those electrons to become a negatively charged ion. These oppositely charged ions are then strongly attracted to each other by electrostatic forces, and these forces are what we call the ionic bond. You can represent ionic bonds using dot and cross diagrams. These represent the arrangement of electrons in atoms or ions where each electron is symbolized by a dot or cross. So as an example, let's look at lithium fluoride. Lithium has 1 outer shell electron and fluorine has 7. The best way for both atoms to get a full outer shell is for lithium to transfer 1 electron to fluorine. This gives both atoms full outer shells and makes them stable. As lithium loses 1 electron, it gets a charge of +1, and fluorine gains 1 electron, so it gets a charge of